Hey, my name is Reuben, Shears, and this is behind the scenes of my online service business that made me around $12,000 in the last week and the strategies I'm using to grow it. So hopefully you can do the exact same, right? So the format of this video, I won't lie, I've stole from a guy called Nick. He's actually the one who won Alex Hormozi's school games. And this is the format of his videos, right? And it's very, very good. So I'm copying it. And that's a tip in itself, is copy people if they're doing something right? Like, don't like carbon copy, put your own twist on it, but identify what people are doing to get results, right? So I want to give you as much value as possible here. What he does is answers all of his questions that are in kind of his comment sections of his videos. I don't have loads of comments. In fact, I don't have any right now. But I speak to a lot of people on sales calls on a regular basis that are running businesses, right? So I have I have a good idea of what people are going to be asking, and I'm going to answer one of those questions today, presuming that you might have one of the same problems, right? If you do want to comment underneath one of the videos, you'll probably get a very comprehensive answer in the next video, for example, because I don't have loads of comments, so I can go very deep into essentially what you're asking, right, if it's relevant. So that's how we're going to start. And like I say, I want to give as much value as possible. The second thing is I'll just talk about one or two things I'm doing in my own business to kind of build it and grow it even further. And then I'll just track some growth stats in terms of like my YouTube, my LinkedIn, etc., and putting those numbers in, because I might as well do that while I'm recording, so I can get into the daily habit of doing so. So that's what it's going to look like. I'll move over to this side now. And I want to answer the question of what is a VSL, right? Because I get asked this all the time, and I might as well just tell everyone exactly how it works in the same way. That is actually what a VSL does. So a VSL is a video sales letter. And if you watch my last video, I talked about how you host that on a website, right? So it's the page, it goes on the page that every single person is going to go through in your funnel, and they're going to watch this video, right? So every single lead is going to see this, which means that it's your chance to talk about your service in a one-to-many fashion rather than one-to-one, because there'll be things you say on the sales call again and again and again that you can actually just put in this video sales letter and not have to repeat yourself so kind of constantly, right? That's one purpose of it. The next purpose is to kind of build trust, right? Because if people don't trust you, they are not going to buy from you. So they want to see like a real person on there. They want to know you're not, I just had a voice crack, not a scammer, and they want to basically like trust that you know what you're doing, right? So that's another purpose for the VSL, and it just kind of pre-warms them for the call that you're going to have with them, the one-to-one call, right? They'll feel like they know you by the time they get on the call. So that's one thing as well that's super important. The final thing that I think is extremely important about VSLs is pre-handling objections, right? Because you will get objections on your sales calls, because if they don't buy, they are going to have some sort of objection, whatever that is. It might be a smoke screen, but it might be a legitimate objection. And this is your opportunity to handle as many of those as possible in the VSL, right? Because then if they've seen the answers to that question, then they're not going to ask it on the sales call at all. So the way I would do this in practice, bit of an action item, is to look at all your past sales calls with whatever sales recording software you've got, so like Fathom or Read AI or whatever. And by the way, side note, you should be recording every single one of your sales calls. That's a little tip in itself as well. But yeah, you put those in the transcripts for all of those into ChatGPT or whatever AI you want to use, and basically say, rank the objections that I'm getting in terms of frequency in an ascending or descending order, so you can see which ones you're getting the most, right? And then literally just in that exact order, talk about those objections in the VSL and pre-handle those. So think about for a little bit of time what that would look like in terms of handling those, and then just say them in the VSL and you'll pre-handle them. So that's the purpose of the video. It'll probably end up being like 5 to 10 minutes. There's not really a set length for a VSL. I know some people say, oh, you can have a super long one or a super short one's better. They all work. Again, everything works, but it's just what works for you, right? So go about doing it that way. And yeah, that's what a VSL is. So it's going to pre-warn people before they get on the call, so they're actually ready to buy, rather than giving you a silly question on the call of saying, what do you actually do? Or something like that, right? Because that's going to be a really boring conversation for you, and it's going to take much longer to get to the point of close. Like, for example, I had a sales call the other day, and it took 9 minutes for the guy to pay on the call, and that's like a genuine metric and number, which is crazy. But it's because he consumed all this stuff before he even jumped on, so he felt like he knew me. Right, that's what a VSL is. Hopefully that helps to an extent in terms of a little bit of strategy for you and implementing that into your own funnel. And if you're one of my clients, then if you're watching this video, then hopefully that helps as well, and on what it is. In terms of strategy for my own business, right, there's a few things that I'm doing, but the main one I want to talk about today is YouTube and why I'm doing that. So this video you're literally watching right now, and becoming more consistent with producing videos a little bit like this, because it's not an easy thing to do, right? And to remain consistent something like that is going to compound over time for me, because it acts as a catalyst to the stuff that I'm already doing. So I'm running ads and I'm doing IG DMs as well, like cold DMs to our ICP, around 200 a day on that, and actually around 200 a day on this in terms of money, and then in terms of DMs there, right? But YouTube is a catalyst in the sense that I'm not expecting to get loads of views on my videos, but what I am trying to do is build as much trust and rapport as possible before people get on the sales calls with me. So hopefully someone's come from here, and then before they're actually going to be on the call, they're going to be watching like a video exactly like this one, and understanding that, yeah, I'm a bit more experienced in the field, and I can actually help them, right? So that's the idea behind that, and doing that on a daily basis is going to be extremely important to me in the next probably 6 months to a year of building my business and building my brand, right? So that's like a really high level overview of what I'm actually doing with that. I don't really think I need to go in more depth than that for now. And I guess the last thing what I want to do is track some metrics. I've already done today, to be honest, and put the numbers in. So what this is a tracker that I built in Notion. If you want this, probably just like send me a message and I can make this for you or send it to you. And it's basically putting in the number of subscribers I've got on YouTube, which is only 30 right now. Instagram 1194. I'm really not posting on Instagram. I think I need to. I think that's going to help even more with just driving people to the YouTube. And then LinkedIn, I've got quite a big following on LinkedIn, so that's been increasing by, it appears, 38, 39 per day. So that was today. I put those numbers in, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's a bit of a summary of where I'm at with the socials, and I'm going to try and build them over time. So hopefully you can help with that if you're watching this video, subscribe or whatever. But the thing that I'd be most kind of grateful for is putting a comment underneath with a question that you're kind of experiencing in your business right now that you want me to answer, and I will answer that in the next video. If you don't, then I'll continue to answer questions that I get on my sales calls, and just go from there. But hopefully this video is helpful. Cheers.